How big was the medieval view of the universe?
If you go back to a very ancient astronomer called Ptolemy, he says in his famous work, the Almagest, that the Earth has to be considered as a kind of mathematical point in comparison to the distance it is from the fixed stars. So the medieval universe was actually enormous and much bigger than we tend sometimes to think about the medieval way of understanding the cosmos. They were actually much more advanced than we sometimes give them credit for.
When we look out at the universe today, we see a black void and empty space, and it makes you feel lost and alone, basically, terrified almost. But was that the same emotional reaction to looking out at a medieval sky?
No, not according to C.S. Lewis. He wrote a book about the medieval way of understanding the cosmos. It was called The Discarded Image. The image of the cosmos that we have discarded since the time of Copernicus. 3 times in that book he suggests to the reader that they should take a walk under the sky at night, looking up at the sky as if they were medieval people, and trying to imagine how different it would be to imagine that you're looking up not into empty space, but up into the heavens which tell the glory of God. And the word space, in this modern sense, is actually quite a new word. It was only coined I think by John Milton in the 17th century. But before then, people didn't talk about space. They talked about the firmament or the heavens. And the word cosmos itself is interesting in this connection too, because cosmos comes from a Greek word to cosm. It's a verb meaning to structure or to organize or to embellish. It's where we get the word cosmetic from. Okay. You know, when you apply cosmetics to your face, you bring out the structure and the pattern of your features. Cosmologists bring out the structure and the pattern of the universe as they believe it to be, and medieval cosmologists believed it to be structured according to these 7 heavens.
So what was the sense when you looked out?
Yeah, when you look up at the sky at night, as a medieval person, C.S. Lewis wants to suggest that you had the sensation not of looking out onto some bleak and blank wilderness, empty space, but you had rather the sensation of looking in. You were looking into a beautifully structured, harmonious, brightly lit firmament, if you like. You were looking into the home of these heavenly bodies, these celestial bodies, and the more you looked in, the more structure and pattern you saw. It didn't just evaporate into some void or vacancy, as we now sometimes tend to think. I mean, I'm no astronomer, and real modern astronomers would probably say that this idea of vacancy and void is actually not really the truth, but that's how we tend to think in popular thought, that empty space is without any structure or pattern.